the plan was to descend onto Parliament Square. You had 4 points. North, south, east and west. Pete, PB Plummer, was head of one of them. Danny Madden, another one. Sam from the Bold Builders, another one. And myself was on the west side.
Boot sales are not regulated. So when you just go pay £10, put a bed sheet on the floor and throw all the tools down, there's no one to ask you any questions, no IDs taken, no one knows what's going on. And it's the quickest way to sell them. And he's basically given me a few of these select DNA kits. The biggest deterrent for the thieves is forensic marking.
And then it looks like it's got glitter in it here, and you were showing us an image earlier on of what that glitter actually is.
That is a speck of glitter, basically, and all your codes are basically showing up on there like that.
And then the phone call came through.
And the phone call came through and said, Shoaib, we can't deal with this. Honestly, please help us out, get the guys out the square, because our big boss is, we're going to get in problem and trouble.
And
We've let you do it.
Yeah, they were like, you've made your point, weren't it?
Yeah, they said, you've made your point, we've let you do it. So I said to the police, all right, get them out there. So I put it in the group chat, all right, guys, let's make our way out.
Hi, it's 1740. It's 1740, it's Monday evening, and it's time for another exciting episode of Trade Legends. My name's Pointy. We're joined here with, of course, MJ, Mark Tiff, and a special guest this evening.
I'm joining you now, am I?
Okay, rewind.
Who the flagged him down outside? Pointy, do you want to just pop in?
Over to you, Mark.
No. It's an anticlimax now.
So you should start every show.
Yeah. Could you just sound like every show for us? That'd be absolutely
Yeah, that's
grand.
fine, yeah.
Yeah, we can do.
Insert name here. And then we're like, yeah.
Okay, right. We cool? We cool, baby. Right, here we go then. We are another little Trade Legends bonus. It's a tool theft special just off the back of everything that went on a couple of weeks ago. So if you've been hiding under a rock, you will have missed that. There was a massive tool theft protest, are we calling it, or rally? What's the official?
Let's call it a demonstration.
Protest demonstration down in London where
But we didn't demonstrate tool theft, just to let everyone know.
No, where tradespeople up and down the country, how many people? Over 200 easily.
About over 200.
Yeah, over 200 tradesmen up and down the country come together to make a stand and a demonstration about tool theft. That you, Shoaib, put together. Yeah, you put the whole lot together, really, haven't you?
Yes.
I know over the years, loads of people have tried and not failed, but everyone's tried to sort of get something done with the whole tool theft thing.
I know.
But I think this one that you've done has massively gained momentum. So if you sort of take us back to how it.
I think it comes down to persistence, really, because I don't give up. I'm a nightmare for them, because we started with a petition, so I started that.
So when would that have been? Where are we now? June, mid-June?
May, I think it was beginning of May.
It was just about a month and a half ago, wasn't it? Yeah. What definitely wasn't more than 8 weeks ago.
No.
Because I know the petition got cancelled about 2 weeks ago, literally the week before we went down to London. And that's when they called the general election. It was all like, what do we do now? But it was actually made it more poignant, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, it couldn't have been earlier than like the very beginning of May, I'd say.
It was beginning of May.
And
So the beginning of May, you set up a petition to stop the sale of, because you had to word it properly, didn't you?
I did, because initially when I put it down, I can't exactly remember what I did, but they came back, because the petition committee, the way they look at petitions, they check. If there's one already in the past, they don't put them out. Right. Or something's worded incorrectly, they won't let that happen as well. So they messaged me and said, look, it's interesting. We can put this out, but we have to reword this, and it's got to be a little bit different. So I had to go the boot sale route.
So there is quite a process. I mean, I know we're not particularly on the subject, but there is quite a process then to starting a petition. I mean, what was the very first? Obviously, the idea is the first thing you do, but what do you do then? You reach out. Is it the government that deals with it, or a third party, or?
No, it's the committee itself that set it all up.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, so they've got when the government gets dissolved, the committee gets dissolved as well.
Right.
So they are the part of the government, but they'll put an issue forward to the government to debate.
Gotcha.
That's why they're there.
So they're like a middleman between the public and that wants something spoken about, and the government who eventually will speak about it. Got you.
Until it reaches 100,000, it doesn't even get to the government's ears. So this is the thing. You know, a lot of petitions that go out there, they don't make it.
Yeah.
And that's why they've got the 10,000 and the 100,000.
So what is the 10,000?
10,000 is when you get an initial response from the government. Now, I've looked at all the responses the government's made in the past. They look like they're just AI.
Literally the same thing.
They all look the same. And when the first initial response came, a lot of people just gave up because they were all hyped up about this petition in the beginning. Everyone was sharing it. And as soon as that response came, it was a big, massive blow because people just put, same thing again. Oh, we've had this before. And all this negativity just started on this. And I was like, no, it doesn't work like this. And it was so hard to convince people to carry on going. And I kept on putting videos out. I said, look, I had to show them proof of previous petitions. They said, look, government had no plans here, no plans here, no plans here. And it got debated in Parliament. What are you doing?
Well, this is it. Because effectively, anybody that doesn't want to do something is going to send a message like that out to try and deter people, because we don't really want to have to talk about all these subjects. So let's just send them a bit of a fob off, and then that'll shut most of them up.
Yeah, that's what they do. I mean, if you look at the text, most of them are similar. So I don't know if it's an AI system they use or whatever they use, but again, I wasn't going to settle for that. That's not good enough. That's why I was telling everyone. I try to convince them to get back in it, start sharing it. Then the momentum started again.
It began to build, didn't it? It had that initial punch, and then the process of the petition. Everyone was getting on board with it, and then people were beginning to share it, and the numbers were creeping up. So 3 or 4 weeks in, and you was like 25, 30,000.
34,000 or some. Yeah, it just
went big fast. It was a great first start, wasn't it? Really good start.
But the momentum was there. It was building, wasn't it? Yeah. And then we got to like 45,000, and then...
And then the government announced that early elections. And this is like deja vu, because they've had this before on one of the petitions. I was on an Instagram that I think that time was 2017. I only started in 2018, so I had no idea of it. Lee from On The Tools, and I think it was Jen the Decorator, she messaged me and said, look, you know, we did something like this similar, and this is exactly what happened before. So I went back and looked into that as well. I thought, right, this is what's going to happen. But then I was like, look, I spoke to the Houses of Commons Committee, and I spoke to them. I phoned out at 10 o'clock in the morning. As soon as I heard the news, I was the first caller on the line. It wasn't even 10:01. As soon as I phoned 10, I went, I was on the phone to her. I said, what is going on? All right, so you've got to, dissolve the government. So what's going to happen with the petition? They said, well, unfortunately, we won't be in offices as well, so it's just going to have to start all over again. I said, no, that's a lot of effort people put in. You know, it's not so easy to get signatures like that, and especially how much work went into the
point
leaflets.
They called the election, you were over 40,000 signatures, I'm sure of it. Yeah.
But to put it into context, they give you 6 months, don't they, to get your 100,000.
That's right.
6-7 weeks, and we was at
6 weeks. We were on 46 and a half.
So we was coming up for halfway within 6 weeks. Yeah. Still had 6 months left to go, 5.5 months.
The reason I know we were going to hit 100 is because, all right, the next 20 would have been a bit difficult for another month.
Bit of a push.
But when it gets to 70 plus, that's when the urgency comes in.
Right.
And everyone's like, come on, let's get it done.
Yeah.
They can see the end.
I knew we were going to do it.
Although I think when just before it did kind of obviously get cancelled, I think that the momentum of people starting to push it and get out there was, for me, especially looking at it from the outside, was getting bigger anyway. Yeah. I think more businesses were starting to put the posters. Who's the lady who printed them all off and sent them to everybody?
Lindsay Fowler.
There we go. Yeah. Lynn's absolute legends. I mean, she sent me a wad of them. I was putting them here, there and everywhere. I mean, I know my local Screwfix Rubery manager, she was off for maternity, but I sent her the PDF that you sent, and she got it printed out and put in all of the Birmingham branches, and it's like businesses were starting to catch on to that and go, yeah, you know what, this is a good thing, we need to be part of this.
And then the companies started getting involved.
This is what I mean. I think
it was Viva Sanitary, they put the post up.
So another few weeks, I think, would have been more of those people doing it. Would have been even more exponential growth with awareness of it.
Yeah. As the numbers got bigger, the bigger names started coming in, and that was a good thing about this.
Yeah, as soon as you get them big names coming in, it starts to drive it again, doesn't it? There's a second wave of pushing it in.
Then I think on the tools got on board. And then Installer Show came in. I mean, all these people just getting involved out of nowhere because all want to do is because it's all the numbers go so quick.
Yeah, the boys from Fixed Radio, they started hyping it up.
Fixed
it's
Radio.
just them little bits of the jigsaw that begin to click.
I mean, people telling me about hearing your interview on Jeremy Vine. Like, oh, we heard about that on Jeremy Vine. Actually, I was into it the other day. I was like, yeah, that was my mate. I know that guy.
But yeah, it just began to build and build and then when the election thing come, And a lot of people just went, what's the point now?
That was just... I looked at the signatures. There were like 500, 800 signatures a day were coming in. As soon as that news dropped about that, it was like 50 one day, and I was sweating. I was like, 50.
Because what would they do with that? So that petition will then sit dormant, right? It'll never ever get used again, but it can be referenced, can't it?
It can be referenced because it's going to be on the system for 10 years.
That's it.
Yeah, and that is still... Anyone from the parliament, the new government, can still pick that up and debate it if they wanted to.
But surely,
so our thing is to put pressure on the coming government.
I was going to say, surely with the new governments coming in, whoever it may be, they've got to look at that, what you did, we did as a collective, and it's got to be a bargaining tool for them going out and rounding up their voters.
Well, the good thing now is the Met Police is with us on it as well.
Yeah.
So that is...
Like they were on the day in London, effectively, as well.
Because they... you won't believe it. A lot of the police don't even know that this is an issue.
Really? Well, again, I think the police is that system.
Because we're in trades.
Yeah.
They don't
unless
know.
they're getting called, unless they're getting told by their superiors to go to certain jobs, to deal with it in a certain way, to focus on certain issues. They're just going to be boots on the ground doing what they need to do that day, and this is why, what you're doing now is kind of working your way up the ladder a little bit more and bringing that awareness to the people that can do something about it. I think it's making serious moves now. Yeah,
because, with the police, if you speak to any officer off the road and you say to them, knife crime, have you heard of it? They'll say yes.
Yes, of course.
Because it goes in, it's awareness. It goes on TV. Everyone knows about it. Every police officer you talk to will know about what knife crime is. But believe it or not, about 20% only know about tool theft as an issue.
Really? Yeah. Is that what it is?
So that is, again, it's us bringing the awareness out there now that they've seen what's happened outside. The officers I've met, they already knew me from social media when I turned up to them because they knew.
Nice.
This guy's the one who made the noise outside Parliament. But word goes out because Metropolitan Police as well has got their own section like Bexley and all these different sections, how the police operate. It's not just one Met Police. There's all sorts of them. Essex Police, Met Police. So, the word's gone out everywhere now about tool theft. And now the biggest thing is the boot sales are worried.
Yeah.
12 of them have closed down.
Wow.
And from 4 or 5 of them are major ones.
Wow.
Big sites.
But awesome. The car boots being sort of shut down is a massive knee-jerk reaction from what went on June the 3rd. So just to go over for people that don't know what went on June the 3rd. So what Shoaib did in the background, he basically put a call out, if you like, sent I just imagine like the Batman thing.
Yeah.
The light went up off Unilight Tower's roof.
The WhatsApp group invitation. Yeah. Everyone's like,
so Shoaib put together 4...
Here we go.
So Shoaib like a phone with that red phone that used to hold back.
That's it, flipped it up. No, because when you was on, we had the big Batman debate, didn't we?
Did you?
No, when you come on, who was the best Batman?
Yeah.
Nick
Bond is
Michael
it?
Keaton.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
100% I say.
It's got to be Michael Keaton. It's got to be Keaton.
Anyway, careful, because we'll go off.
Sorry,
Right.
Not Ben Affleck, mate.
Tune in next week. We'll be talking about Batman.
Yeah. So basically, the plan was to descend onto Parliament Square. So obviously, you can't just turn up in London. So what you did, you had 4 points: north, south, east, and west around London. PB Plummer was head of one of them. Danny Madden another one. Sam from the Bold Builders another one, and myself was on the west side. Yeah. And we met up in them 4 locations to then head to Brent Cross Tesco's, wasn't it?
That's right.
And then from there, we moved down into London.
Yeah, and Jay was the leader of the London one, so he had to be there earlier for giving out the stickers and done all the traffic and routing. It was really, really good.
Mate, he was artillery. He was like, right, I'll go ahead. I stopped in the middle of the road. Right, you lot stop there. You lot stop there. Come on through, everyone.
But even in the background of that, we had the WhatsApp groups with the group leaders.
Did you like the Game of Thrones sort of?
Yeah, the big iron chair thing. The north, south, east, and west. But even hats off to you for arranging that, because that alone, and then working out where everyone's going to meet up, and the logistics behind even months before that day happening.
It's insane.
Is what you put in.
I'll say one thing though. When I started this chat, I put a message up on Instagram for people to join it. But the reason why it was good and it worked is because the people that joined were passionate.
They wanted to join it.
They wanted to join it. Because a lot of people said, we'll turn up, put us in the group. I didn't let them in. No. I kept it so controlled. There was a lot of people... Everyone stay in your own groups. Don't start jumping into different groups. Because there was... a lot of stuff.
Oh, logistic-wise,
I
yeah.
needed to know numbers for the police. I needed to do a lot of planning, and I couldn't mess this up.
You had to give the police the route in and everything, didn't you?
Everything was planned. Everything was by permission, letting them know.
You know, even
what
to
we're
the
doing.
point of getting to where I was in the west, we then had to work out the time from the west to Brent Cross, then from Brent Cross down into London. We had times we had to hit.
There's
we
a
had
huge
to
lot of
leave at
planning.
certain times.
Yeah, and
and
believe
again,
it, when I said to planning, even during the day, I'd wake up and I'd know, right, they're going to be leaving a day before.
Yeah.
They're going to be leaving about 9 to get here at 10. So I was looking at the sat-nav at those timings just to work out how long it's going to take. So everything was so planned.
It's like moving
Yeah.
an army, though. It
Oh,
was.
yeah,
It was
it was.
incredible.
The dry run.
But I think
down
that
to
as
London.
well, though, brings even more gravitas, I like that word, gravitas, to the whole process of how much went into it, but how well it actually went. I mean, we're talking, you know, a couple of hundred tradespeople from all over the UK, not just local, not just London, you know, not just within half an hour's drive. We're talking all over the shop, and they descended, and it literally was a descent onto London. And it was the amount of people that came. Yeah, there's obviously some people that, you know, had things happen, they couldn't come, whatever, but the overwhelming response that you got from people that wanted to be there. And you know, the amount of people that took time off work, as it said on the news reports that we all saw, you know, which we very much enjoyed, looking for our own vans on the TV, didn't we? You know, oh, there's at the back of mine.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was, as the reporters mentioned, it was, we all lost more money to be there that day. You know, we spent money to get there that day, but yet there were still hundreds, and I say hundreds, of tradespeople that put that much effort in because of something you started.
Wow. I can't believe it myself still. But don't you
just
think,
also the
when you
the
turned up to
feeling-
London,
the feeling on that day,
didn't it feel
just-
like a carnival?
Mate,
It was
honestly,
incredible.
when I met up with him, and then we drove down to Chiefly Services. Even just then, it was like a bubbly vibe. I was touching base with you, as were the team leaders, from how many people you got there. We've got this many, this many, and then all of a sudden, when we left there, it was like, right, we're off now. Convoy.
Yeah.
I had.
How many did you have in yours?
I had 14 at mine.
You
But
had
I had
14.
Mike Residual Current in the van with me, filming for Trade Legends content, just general content. Again, whatever content people were making, literally have the content, use it. Mike was with me, and I had Pointy on a CB radio, and we had flybys of the vans. We were filming that, and just it was building.
Yeah.
Then when we pulled into Brent Cross, the atmosphere was amazing. Everybody was there for the same thing.
It's funny that there was so much positivity about effectively such a negative subject.
Yeah.
It was strange. And you got there on the day, and we were, you know, you looked out the front of your van and you saw, you know, loads of vans in front of you. You looked in the rear view mirror and there was loads of vans behind you, and you're like, wow, I'm part of this. This is it. And I feel like it's almost selfish in a way that actually I think pretty much everybody that went did get a kick out of being there. And it's like, because the main thing you got to remember about this is it was for a good cause.
Yeah.
You know, like on the day we saw loads of people, like, you know, another weary Londoner going, what's this one for? You know, literally asked you through the window, what's this one about? Sorry, you know. And yeah, we'd tell them very quickly, it's about tool theft and banning the sale of stolen tools. And they're like, oh, good
their
on
ears
you.
pricked up a little bit.
There's a good idea. All right, carry on.
Yeah, we weren't chucking oil everywhere or burning or
Gluing
gluing
yourself.
ourselves with CT1 on ourselves to the floor,
Oh,
which you wouldn't get off if
Imagine,
CT1
could you
took
imagine?
us to the floor.
Don't let them know. Don't tell the protesters.
Ladies and gents, just a quick one to say a huge thank you to our new headline sponsor, CT1, the best sealant on the market, voted for by the British public. Not only that, it's made in Britain as well. So go and support a product and a brand that is made in the UK. But I just want to say to you, they've got a brand new product out, which is the BT1. It's a combination sealant and adhesive like the popular CT1, but it's perfect for keeping a hygienic environment. And it's designed to completely stop the growth of bacteria, microbes, and fungus. And not only that, this stuff is strong. Now, it's going to be available at Travis Perkins, Wickes, Jewson's, and pretty much everywhere else, so there's no excuse not to go and give it a go. So we're really happy to be partnering with CT1.
Stop.
But we even had tradespeople who were down in London going about their day that possibly didn't know about it. Then, what's it about, lads? Tell them. Go on. You know, taxi drivers, what's it about? They had an opinion on it. Even tourists coming up. I don't know who it was in front of me, there was some American geezer, typical American, cap on backward, like pointing, cap on back, wrap around shades, and he was like, "What's going on, man?" "Oh, it's a tool." "Oh, my guy in Illinois, he had 40 grand's worth of Milwaukee." Oh shit, American accent. 40 grand's worth of
Oh my
tools
God,
and
that
hits.
guy there over in Illinois, he had all 40 grand's worth, $40,000
honestly,
worth
and he
of
was
stuff
like,
stolen in Milwaukee.
Right on, lads, crack on with it. And
Yeah, you show
everybody-
them, show the government.
Everyone that was on board, everyone that you spoke to was like, "Oh, it's about that. Crack on, do it." Even the old Bill.
Yeah.
I spoke to something.
They can relate to people that happened in their own
Yeah,
family and friends. So,
But yeah,
It worked for everyone.
so we all got to Brent Cross, and then we began that protest down into Parliament Square, and just 2.5 mile tailback, wasn't it?
About that, but can you imagine how many traffic lights we had to go
God.
through? But that
Literally.
link
But the
didn't
fact,
break.
yeah, but this is the thing, is we
And that's
went through all
thanks to
those
Jay.
traffic
Yeah.
lights, and then when some of us got to Parliament Square, it was almost like some people were following sat-nav, some people were following the line. So actually we all ended up coming into Parliament Square at different angles at the same time, and it was instant carnage, wasn't it? It was instant gridlock,
Yeah.
instant impact,
Honestly.
of course, as well. And the police were there waiting, which was great that they were on board.
Yeah.
Again, I think we need to really pay special mention to the fact that they, because of your communication with them and the organisation you put in with them, they were ready, they were happy, they were accepting of it, they were supportive of it, and that through the day they literally put more effort into kind of corralling the public around us than they did corralling us away from the public.
They didn't close roads. They didn't do nothing. Just they let us have our
Cause
let us
carnage,
deliver
it's
what we
worth
did.
it.
They didn't say nothing. which
So
is
were
the
they
best
were
part.
they in constant contact with you? Because obviously you had a guy on the. Not a guy on the inside. You had a copper that you was
Contact.
liaising with.
Yeah.
No, on that day, that was a different copper. I mean, we were liaising through WhatsApp because I sent him the route, told him what we're doing, our plans and intentions, and he said, "Are you going to block Parliament Square?" And I said, "Not really, but I don't know what's going to happen." Because
Try not to.
try not to, because I can't talk to 200 people at the same
Yeah,
time
yeah.
while we're driving. But I've told everyone, briefed everyone, let's keep the traffic moving, let's keep it slow. But the amount of vans, honestly.
Yeah.
I was probably the first one to get into Parliament Square,
Oh,
and I
you
saw
was
all
one,
these
I was
tourists there,
behind
and
you.
I looked at the vans and I thought, where they're all going to
It's
go.
like the five of you at the front, and then it
Honestly.
literally just
And that
doubled up.
circle, as soon as it completed, I was like, no one else is getting in here.
Yeah.
Gone.
And I was sat at one point, and Todd Glister come out because he's down that some random road, come bowling
Just
out of
knows
there.
his way around.
Then you had someone else shooting out there, and it was like
Everyone
just
was out of their
swarming
vans.
it. Yeah.
Everyone was out of their
It was
vans.
that
Phil
lockdown.
being running around.
I thought I was going to get arrested at one point. There's actually a video of me walking around in the middle of the road, like driver's door open on the van, engine running. I'm there with a massive PA speaker on my shoulder, shouting down the microphone. And then you just see this copper coming in from the corner of the screen.
Yes,
And then
yeah.
I notice him, and I'm like, just walk back to my van then, get in. And it was just, what did he say to you when you got back in the van and, finished pooing your pants? What did he say? He says, he come over to me and went like this, he went, "You go in left at the bridge." I was like, oh God, thanks, mate. Thanks, officer. Thank you, officer. Thank you.
Because the footage of it, of the copper coming over to you, and like the TV
Whoops,
shows,
I got-
the news showed the
Yeah.
copper coming over,
That's
and it was like,
just go in the opposite direction. But yeah, he was just like, just let you know you're going left at the bridge. I was like,
brilliant.
Oh,
they were
thanks, man.
massively on board, and
Yeah.
hats off to the police that day because they let us do what we were there to do.
Come on,
Yeah.
there was fire brigades trying to open it, ambulances,
Oh, crazy. Absolutely crazy.
drones, whatever you name it, was there. But
Yeah,
nothing
yeah,
could
yeah.
stop.
But then when
open that up.
it got massively congested at one point, and then the call out went out to us as group leaders to do the bigger loop.
No,
to
I got
ease
the
that.
first call from the police saying, "Can you get these guys out of the square and around Embankment if possible?" And I said, "Well, the way it's blocked, I don't think it's going anywhere
Mate,
because
we
there's more
spent-
coming."
yeah, we spent about
And
an
they said-
hour on Embankment just trying to get round.
And they said, "What should we do then?" I said, "Well, if you block off one end of Parliament Square so no one else can start entering it, and we can divert towards Parliament Square, that would help." So that's what they did. They stopped that one.
That's right.
We came around. They didn't expect us to block it again, so they moved that thing.
Yeah.
Back in the square.
It was in the WhatsApp group. We started going around Embankment, and it sort of started moving a little bit. And
Yeah.
it's 45 minutes. Then the WhatsApp message come through from Shoaib. Right, back to Parliament Square.
Back to Parliament Square,
Straight
yeah.
back down.
Well, I was following one. There was only about 8 vans in front of me
Yeah.
from view at the very front, and then I was about 8 back. So I saw you guys all started moving together. I was like, great. And then it was like, where have you all gone? It's like the 6 or 7 of you at the front just disappeared. I'm like, and then like,
because you was on the radio to me
I
then.
was like, which way have you gone? Which way? And then 1,000 tourists crossed the road in front of me on embankment, and there was a coach trying to drive into the side of me. And I was like, panic! I just turned left. So I went all the way around, effectively the right route.
Yeah.
But literally, by the time everybody had finished getting all the way around, it was just it was gridlock, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Just
second
stopped
time we
moving.
gridlocked it, and then I got a phone call.
So we were there for probably 3 or 4 hours, weren't we? By the time we'd done all
Managed
that.
to get 2 laps
and then the
in.
phone call came
And
through.
the phone call came through and said, Shoaib, we can't deal with this. Honestly, please help us out. Get the guys out the square because our big bosses, we're going to get in problem and trouble.
And
We've
to be fair,
let you do it.
Yeah,
And I
they
said,
were like,
"No."
you've made your point, weren't it?
Yeah, they said, you've made your point. We've let you do it. And it's better if you, because it's going to cause a lot of problems for people leaving work and all that kind of stuff. I said, that's fair enough. We've got to be respectful
Yeah,
as
yeah.
well.
No, exactly.
At the end of the day, we're not like the old... People say the stop oil protesters.
Yeah.
We're not that. We're, respectful people ourselves. So I said to the police, all right, I'll get them out there. So I put it in the
Yeah.
group chat, all right, guys, let's make our way out.
I mean, by
But
this point,
the
we'd
message
had the
was
time to
delivered.
speak, we'd had the time to record, we'd had the time to speak to news outlets.
Yeah, we had BBC,
record
ITV,
footage,
Sky.
Funny
on
thing-
the tools, fixed radio,
The news was not supposed to be on the square.
Oh, was it
They were
not?
supposed to be down at the embankment side. So
Oh, really? Oh, blimey. So they
but
just...
because we blocked it so bad, they came down this way.
Nice. Nice. They just
So that's
landed
where the
down.
noise is.
But yeah, we did. We had literally had on the side of the road from Parliament Square, ITV, BBC, Sky, on the tools, fixed radio. The installer spanner was there jumping around.
Yeah.
It was just
Getting everywhere this year, isn't he, that installer spanner?
Yeah,
Hope he's an installer. Imagine if he called in sick now.
But the coverage was a mega, and then obviously we had 3 or 4 hours in there. The call came, like you say, right, let's get out. So we all headed back to Brent Cross as a sort of a debrief, if you like.
Took long enough to get back to Brent Cross, didn't it?
But
I don't
the-
think anybody took less than an
No.
hour to drive from Central. It's literally
Yeah.
like a 10-minute journey, but it took most of us an hour.
But like from that day, for that 4 or 5 hours, forgetting everything that had gone on before, that was amazing. But did you feel a lot of pressure on that day?
Yeah, a lot of pressure.
Because you was number one in the convoy.
Yeah, I was, and I couldn't make a mistake, especially with the sat nav.
But if something went wrong, it was on your head.
Yeah.
If there was
Yeah. If
legal
there was
issues, it was on your
exactly.
head.
If there was a fight or anything happened like that, and I was just hoping, or someone has an accident. That's
Like bumps into the back of someone else.
There's
Or,
pedestrians in London, so you got to remember it's all these things you got to worry about. Something happens, it's going to mess everything up. So there's a lot of stress. That's why. Did you notice what speed I was driving at?
quite slow.
6 miles an hour.
Wow.
I wasn't even doing 20.
Yeah.
I know that
I didn't wanna
the
break the chain
90-year-old that
second.
walked past us, was a bit like...
She overtook us.
Yeah, are they going to hurry up?
But do you know what as well?
Can I beat them to the traffic lights?
Do you know
I
what
did,
happened
yeah.
though? When we had a car randomly pull in, which is going to happen into the convoy, it was great that we all just flagged that car,
Just come through.
round.
Round,
and like you
round.
say,
Yeah.
We gave everyone way.
TMGJ was flying up
It was
and down.
literally- It's like a police escort, wasn't
Oh,
it?
yeah, he
Pull
was
up at the
mega.
next traffic
He
light.
was on the
to go,
phone to me at the
"Wait."
same time. I had the sat nav on. He's like, Shoaib, can you see me? He knew London so well.
Yeah,
he does,
Unbelievable,
man.
because he works there. But
Yeah.
what a fucking guy.
He's a
Yeah,
geezer.
yeah,
He's a
smashed
geezer.
it.
He's a bit of a governor in his TMGJ, to be fair.
Yeah.
It's like,
He was like, I'm standing on a bus stop. I'm parked up on a double yellow red line. I don't care. I know there's no cameras. It's fine. Just go.
Perfect.
He just took it all away.
So we all went back to the Brent Cross. So I've just got here on my notes the aftermath. So we've done the day. We've done what we've set out to do. Everyone's gone home that night, and it's on the news. It's on ITV, BBC for probably the next 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
After that,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
the aftermath of that.
There's even
Talk
now
us through.
Channel 4 trying to do a documentary on it.
Right,
which is a
okay,
good thing.
okay.
Yeah, got that.
can I play you in the
Yeah,
documentary?
please.
That'd be cool. I think
Oh,
I can
I
pull
mean,
that off.
Is that politically allowed now?
Yeah. It'd just be a slightly different, same but different version.
Yeah. So the aftermath, Shoaib. Where are we now? So
Where
off
are
the
we
back
now?
of that day, talk us through the next sort of 48
So
hours.
since a lot of stuff gone out in the news and a lot of social media, wow,
Nailed it.
yeah,
Nailed
and even
it.
more people are getting involved. In the
How
scene.
long did it take you, before we go too far ahead, how long did it take you to catch up from all of the tags and the shares and the mentions and the messages from that day? Because obviously you were on the road all day as well.
Yeah.
How did you manage to get through the barrage of stuff on all the different platforms you'd been on?
I could have for days, honestly. On Instagram you got like a requested section that was full. Facebook was full. The main inbox was full. Just tags.
That's the
mentions,
hard part that people
comments.
don't realise,
I could
isn't
have
it,
scrolled
about
down.
it?
I was scrolling down. I couldn't get to the bottom of it. Eventually, I got through all of them. But
So then we got into, as Tiffers is saying, you know, the kind of the results almost, as in the
results
achievements.
are in.
The results are in.
the
Who's
results
talking
are in.
about it?
Yeah, so that following 48 hours, what happened from your end?
Well, as I said, from the social media side of things, because nowadays social media is big and
Huge.
so big, you just don't believe it. Like, can you imagine 12 boot sales around the country have closed down?
Mega.
Like closed tools completely.
But then in quick
people have actually
succession-
gone back there and still seen nothing there.
Wow.
That is big.
When you say closed down, you mean the boot sales
Not
altogether?
boot sales altogether. I mean, the selling of
sale,
power tools.
right,
Sorry.
yeah. Let's say, because we saw a great influx that you've been sharing in the group chat as well of the posters at the doorway, the entrances to these car boot sales. We no longer allow the sale of used power tools or used tools. They're just saying in general. You know, we will ask to see receipts and stuff, and that's brilliant because that's what you wanted. And I know when you were picking the topic of the petition, you know, you had to word it in a certain way and stuff like that, but I really
gotta
think
take a
you
route.
managed to find that X factor of what to pick at.
I'll tell you, if you look on the petitions site, go back a bit, just type in tool theft or whatever, you'll see somebody did do one on that tool theft should be a punishable offence. That is an actual petition. Guess how many signatures they got?
Not
200.
many. Yeah.
Wow.
200 signatures.
And it's a worthy petition. It's a good idea,
Yeah.
but again, it wasn't effective enough because it's obvious, isn't it? It's like saying putting your foot in a puddle should make it wet. Like, was a start a petition? Like, well, no, because it's
But
obvious.
the point I'm trying to make is, I can't use that same wording and that same
I see what you
petition.
mean. Yes,
it's not
yes.
allowed.
Agreed,
It's already been on the system.
So you got to find another
They'll be
way
like,
in.
yeah.
So would
exactly.
you say that by having the cause, by having the want to do something around the subject, you almost accidentally found the best possible route of getting into it? It's like,
No,
well, we
because-
need to word it in a certain way. What part of tool theft can we attack that hasn't already been mentioned in a
'cause,
petition?
Look, I've got quite a few boot sales near my house, and I know that they weren't around before. There's only one. Now there's 8 of them, and I've been to loads of them, and I look at them and I think, how many tools? Right.
Yeah.
It
And
was
then
Stolen
it just
Tools
makes sense.
UK was sharing a lot of them. You know.
It just makes sense because boot sales are not regulated. So when you just go pay £10, put a bed sheet on the floor and throw all the tools down, there's no one to ask you any questions, no IDs taken, no one knows what's going on. And it's the quickest way to sell them. If they were to sell it online, which a lot of people do say, right, to sell it online, you've got to take a picture of it, you've got to write a description of it, you've got to post it,
List
4 or
it,
5 pictures. See, they might not even be working.
Yeah.
You're going to get 20 questions from the buyer on the
That's
other
it.
end. Does it
Per-
work?
per
Does it
item.
come with a Does it come with a battery? Does it come with a charger? They haven't got time to get rid of one drill
Yeah.
for £40.
Postage, packing, all that.
Which is
They want
also,
interest in it.
yeah, which
They
is
want
also
get
to
it bang.
answer a lot of questions. If you are asking, well, where am I going to sell my used power tools then? So, well, if you are in possession of your own used power tools that you personally wish to get rid of, then you will obviously go through the effort of selling it on somewhere like eBay or whatever because it's yours. You know, you can prove you've bought it. You
But
can.
I don't even think that. I think if tradespeople are looking to sell
Oh, they
a
don't,
drill,
do they? Let's be
no, but
honest,
if they
yeah.
do, let's just say I bought a new,
Don't sell
Milwaukee.
them. They
No,
might
but-
break
but
or
no.
you leave them in the yard somewhere.
Yeah,
you know?
but put it this way then. Say you go and buy a new drill or you get a new drill
Yeah.
and you've got an old drill. You're either going to hand it to an apprentice on site
Yeah.
or you're going to sell it to another tradesman, possibly, you know, a young lad that's just out of his time. Look, give us 40 quid, you can have that. It's going within the trades.
Yeah, yeah.
So no legitimate
this-
tradesman is going to be selling his tools.
No.
That
Nowhere
way.
like that.
How many
exactly.
years have you been in the trade?
Oh, God, 30, 28,
How many
30.
times have you bought a drill? Twice, 3 times maximum in your career?
Yeah.
Not 30. That person
Yeah.
selling that with 30, 40 drills.
Yeah.
Few
Where
hundred
do they
people
come from?
per
Same thing.
tool manufacturer. It's like
They've
there's a
actually got
few
markings
hundred-
on them as well.
Yeah.
So they've got names on
Steve's
them.
drill.
Yeah, literally.
Now-
So who's Steve? Garbu.
See, this is the thing. Like, I always say, people say marking tools and all this. Yes, it does help the police get a conviction, but it doesn't help the tradesperson. Because if you steal my tools tomorrow, I've got a job the next day.
Yeah.
I'm not going to wait around for the police to find my tools. But at the end of the day, if your tools were marked, you got a chance of getting them back. And secondly, you can get to conviction. If these 2 or 3 people get convicted and go in, it'll be an example for the rest of them not to do it.
Yeah.
Now, I'm working with a Sergeant Dave Catlow. He's from the Bexley Safe and Neighbourhood team in the Sid Cup ward. And what an amazing guy. Honestly, he's just as passionate about tool theft and vehicle crime. That's
Really wants to do
He's
something
on
about it.
board. He's on board.
He's on
with it.
board. And he's basically given me a few of these select DNA kits. This technology isn't new. It's been around for years. Just when Currys and Dixons were together, it was that time when you could get the old camcorders.
Yeah.
They used to give the kits with you so you can mark them in case you lost it. Somebody might find it. It's got little...
Selector DNA. What to say? It literally says it. So what's in here then?
So it's got this...
So, and the police, you're working with this Sergeant Dave, who's working, and so you're getting some stickers to put on your tools or your van, perhaps to deter people, because eventually enough people do this, we're going to get people are going to start realising what they're starting to steal, and in a way, again, to answer the question of people like, well, if I put this on my tools, I've got to get robbed again for it to do. Well, not necessarily, because if people know that you've got them marked, they're essentially hopefully going to stop trying to steal them in the first place.
The biggest deterrent for the thieves is forensic marking,
which is
this stuff. So
DNA.
This DNA. It's got your specific code, which is embedded in this liquid. So when you put it on your tool, it's very difficult to remove. You can't get it off.
And then it looks like it's got glitter in it here, and you were showing us an image earlier on of what that glitter actually is.
Yeah, I'll show you. I don't know if it's going to come up on the screen.
They
they can swing the camera around. I'll show you what it looks like.
Jack will zoom in on that. Where do you want
zoom in?
Get on there.
So there.
You'll get that.
I'll just zoom in a little bit more. Oh,
so
all your codes.
Speck of glitter.
That is a speck of glitter, basically, and all your codes are basically showing up on there like that.
That's crazy.
Which is registered to your name.
That's insane. So it's unique. Each pot of this has got a different combination, and it's registered to. And I think you were asking him earlier on. So does it wash off? Does it come off by accident? And effectively, no.
No.
And again, when you're placing this stuff on, you'll be putting it into places on your tools, your boxes, your batteries, where won't necessarily be high traffic areas anyway.
Yeah, I mean, if the police see your code on there, that's a conviction. Or if they can't see a code on there, as long as it's got that liquid, that's suspicion.
Right.
So either way,
they've got an in, haven't they?
Exactly.
And so like, you know, there's obviously, you've been doing quite a bit of work social media wise. I've been obviously seeing it with trade mornings, where the police have been attending these trade mornings to help, you know, tradespeople come into the branches to put it on their tools, give it away for free. And I know that, you know, with all due respect to the police, they have been trying over the years, really. And I think it's just been such a kind of despondent nature from people like us that we've, you know, so what's the point, you know? And effectively to say that though is you've already, you know, accepted the theft before you've even had them stolen with that attitude, haven't you, really?
But the police are now actively working on this, which is a great thing, especially the Bexley Safer Neighbourhood team. Dave Cotler, he's even getting the other police involved as well. So Kent Police is now getting on board on this as well, on the same DNA kits. Right, these kits cost about £60 to buy. I think you can get them on from their Selector DNA website. But what we're doing, we're trying to arrange a day where we can go with the police themselves and Selector DNA, arrange a meet up with all the trades and try and give these kits out to you guys for free.
Right.
So you can start marking your tools. Yeah. And with one kit, I think you can mark about 50 or 60 tools.
There's a lot of juice in those little parts, isn't there?
Yeah. That's perfect.
And it dries basically invisible, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when the thieves find out that the tools have started to get all this stuff on there, they honestly imagine going down to a boot sale, put a UV light on the tools.
The whole blanket starts glowing.
Exactly. What's going to happen then?
But that with
instant arrest, effectively, isn't it?
Even doing that onto the tools is great. And I get a lot of people with the content I shared from that day saying, what's the point? You're never going to stop it. In the YouTube comments, you're never going to stop it. And you're like, why are people so negative about it? And what I say to them now is, car boot sales are being shut down now because of this. If you take away that demand for them people who are selling it at car boots, if they can no longer sell their wares, if you like, at car boots, they're not going to buy, I don't know what they do. Maybe they buy a truckload of nick gear for £1,000, I don't know, and then sell it at the car boots. If they can't sell it, they're not going to buy it.
Yeah.
Hopefully then the guy nicking it is going to go, we don't want to keep
but
it.
It's literally getting stockpiled. I mean, I think it was just before the protest that we did, it was the rally, you know, down in London. It was it Kent Police that followed an Apple AirTag that someone had put in their toolboxes and raided 2 storage containers that had over 13,000 items in there. I mean, they're literally stockpiling it.
There's 500,000 value.
Yeah.
It's quite a lot.
It's just
done another one
huge
as well.
amounts of stuff.
Yeah, they've just done another one for 100,000. Yeah.
I mean, that was since the petition, wasn't it, as well? That was,
That was
And
after the
it's-
petition.
I just think they're beginning, the thieves and the way they're out later, people they're beginning to go, shit.
Yeah. Well, they
something's
need to.
coming,
This
something's
is it.
happening.
Yeah.
Are you wasting time? I think that some of you probably are, and I have a solution for you. Nobody wants to do any type of admin. Now, I have a solution for you, and it is called Tradify. It's a fully automated job scheduling, invoicing, and quoting all in one place. Now, that software is going to save you 12 hours a week, and all by using a simple software solution. Now, you can try it for 2 weeks, absolutely free, no cards needed, and you'll even get support in person from Tradify themselves. Now, when you're done, you can always come back to me and thank me, but just enjoy the extra 12 hours that you're going to gain from just using the software.
Yeah.
So now, moving forward, I've informed them about the boot sales as well. So hopefully they'll be taking them seriously now and actually visiting them as well. So that's a good thing.
with regards to the police, as I said to you before we started, I say it again, no one becomes a police officer to not police.
Yeah.
No one wakes up one morning and goes, I know it might be an easy job just to pay, to tide me over and pay the bills. I'll become a police officer. It won't take much effort. No one thinks that ever. They want to become a police officer to try and, change the world or help people or protect people. That's why you go into that kind of vocation. And, it's I think probably why you're getting such a positive response from the police service is the fact that they want to do police stuff. They want to arrest criminals and help people's livelihoods.
We can't always blame them as well. I mean, they're outnumbered as well. The amount of crime that's going on.
This
what
is
can they
it.
do? They haven't got enough numbers out on
yeah.
the streets to do anything. They go
It's a
to
losing
one
battle
call.
for them.
They go to one call. They've got another 7 waiting. What do they deal with? Do they deal with your tool theft? To deal with someone getting stabbed down the road?
This is it. They're overstretched,
They're
undersupported.
overstretched, exactly, understaffed. They haven't got the numbers to deal with it at the moment. But look, going forward, at least they've got good plans in place, and I'm happy about that.
I just think they've been massively made aware in the last month. What we did went pretty much viral via the news and the social media outlets, and now you're finding as soon as someone goes to a car boot sale on a Sunday morning, they'll take a picture of no power tool, and then everybody's tagged in it. They take a picture of it. Everybody's tagged in it. Everyone tagged it, shares it, and it bang. But what I like as well is people are then contacting that car boot sale going, thanks for getting on board with it. Because it doesn't have to be in London. I'm up here. Me and Point are up here. There is little car boot sales on little rugby pitches around. It's even them. If there's going to be a guy there with a table full of stuff.
The problem is London is the biggest market for them, these car boots, and the customers are there. So even if something gets stolen up north, it still ends up down here.
Yeah.
Because this is the central hub of where it's all happening. Yeah. Now, what's funny is every week people used to share car boots, selling tools. But the last week, it was all about no tools.
No tools.
Yeah. It's amazing, isn't it?
I had a thought the other day, and I don't know if it's doable, is to get some tradespeople to go to a car boot in your van and just lay some tables out with fuck all on them, just with the odd sign, stop selling car. So we're not selling anything, but you'd have to get in and then lay your tables out, stop selling car, and basically have that table as an outlet for telling people what we're doing.
Imagine if you went next to our Barry with a table full of trestle table of power tools.
That'd be perfect. That would be absolutely perfect.
Where'd you get them from, Baz?
No, the thing is, if all the tradespeople went outside a car boot and just blocked the entrance, they can't do nothing.
But then again, there's people wanting to go there to sell normal stuff.
Yeah, I know, but
so I think if you go
there's a few
in,
people that spoil it for everyone, and that's always been the case.
With any
so it's the car
life,
boot sales organisers' duty to stop them from coming.
Yeah.
Well, they're getting on board. They're doing it.
A lot of them are, but there's still a few out there that need having a word.
I don't get it though, because if I was to organise a car boot and then I'm only going to be making X amount per car. It's not like I'll go, I don't want to get rid of them because, that I get
it's
loads of
20
money
quid
off
or
them.
whatever.
You don't get any extra
you don't get a
money.
percentage.
Yeah, you don't get any extra money off
it's
them.
50 quid a pitch or whatever
it's like,
it is.
that's how much the pitch is, that's how much I made. So it's like, saying, well, come on. Sell the pitch to somebody else that's not robbing people's livelihoods blind,
But what it is, it's the customers that they get coming for them.
It's
that's
true.
the problem. It's
There's
not
a
the pitch.
demand. It's supply and demand. Everything in crime has always been supply and demand, hasn't it? And
And
we know
notice
the
people-
kind of tradespeople that are buying this stuff.
You notice the people that are picking them up, on some of the cameras that, I know Billy's filmed a couple of car boots, and you look at the people who are picking them up and actively looking at them, you can tell they're wrong uns anyway.
yeah, and
Did
they
you see
haven't
the
got a
one
clue
from
what they're
yesterday?
looking at.
Where there's, there's the one I posted. There's two literally kids, about 12 years old, sitting in a van, selling tools and their new Hilti stuff.
Wow.
Kids.
Yeah.
Kids. Well, yeah, because they know it's illegal, and they know it's starting to crack down, and then
They've got all
they
new
start-
The thing is, they know they can't prosecute
that's
the kids.
exactly it. They can send
You
them to
stick two 12
juvie,
you
but
stick two 12-year-olds in there, and the old bill are going to lock it down, but they can't prosecute them.
the community service, if
Underwear.
anything. Unless you get like services involved, you might be child labour or something. That could be
No, but
different avenues. Like
Yeah, but they're on it at night,
We've put the children into care, but
not
these
to
looting
stereo-
vans left.
but not to stereotype them. At night, those kids, if they're in a van overseeing the sale of all them stolen tools, at night they're more than likely going to be the kids that are running the county line stuff. So in the day they're doing that, at night they're not, child labour stuff. They're future criminals.
They are. They're part of the gang, and they want to prove themselves. Usually, as we see
right,
in a
we'll
lot of
sit
things.
you on a car boot, sir, because if we get raided and all that gets taken off us, they ain't prosecuting you.
So to look at everything we've covered in the last however long we've been talking now, we've gone from having a pandemic, an epidemic in tool theft up and down the country, to you having a bright idea, to starting a petition, to creating absolute carnage in Parliament Square, hundreds of tradespeople, huge amounts of media coverage, social media coverage. We're now seeing results of the police changing what they're looking at and how they're looking at it, how they're going to deal with it. We're looking at car boots and how they're going to change and how they're stopping this kind of sale. Again, that you've been in communication with. We're looking at the possibility of a future government or government in the making taking hold of this thing in the coming weeks. We don't know what could happen tomorrow.
With the elections coming up, they're going to be politicians out there jumping on this because you're going to get the working man's vote. You're going to get the tradespeople on board.
If you want votes, and if you're willing to put things and try and work things out to get votes, then it doesn't make, if you're going to say we're going to try and tackle tool theft or we'll protect your livelihoods, that's what we want.
Yeah, you're going to get
the thing
90% of people on board.
Look, obviously, to end this all I'm going to say is we have to give the government time, because the new government's got to form. They've got to get back in the offices. They need a little bit of time. We've got to give them time, because going out there again and doing something like this, the reason I don't agree with it straight away is because it has no value.
It's just a nuisance then, isn't it?
Then you're a nuisance. You've got no value to what you're doing.
No impact.
You have to give them time.
You're diluting what
give them
you-
6
what
months.
you've done.
Let them. They know what the issues are. The police knows what the issues are. In that meantime, we can write letters to the new MPs that are coming in to take this seriously, right?
Yep.
Because we've got all the proof. We can send them all to them and say, this is what's before you came here. This is what we were dealing with. Can you take a look at this? We've got to go through the right channels again.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do another petition because it's absolutely pointless. We've delivered the message that needed to be delivered. That's just bypassing that straight away.
Which you've also said
We'll
can
never
still be
have to
picked
do
up.
it again.
It's
It
always
can
going
always
to
be
be
picked
there.
up because it's always going to be there. The protests have been done. The news is out there. They all know about it. That's all we wanted to let them know, and they know. That's it. It's
But
done.
like you say, if Channel, did you say Channel 4 would do it, putting something together?
They're putting something together on their boot soles and.
Yeah. See, it's perfect for them sort of like political, news-driven, hour-long documentaries.
Yeah.
Are gold for this.
We should speak to Netflix about
Because
a dramatisation of tool theft and the...
What, like this? Oh, gosh.
Yeah, the
I've been
one-man
robbed.
hero. But it's things like, look at Netflix or Amazon or anything like that. We're talking a flippant TV show. What's it versus the post office? What's his name? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Nothing been done about it for 30 years. All of a sudden, ITV do a drama about it, and it's literally on every single newspaper, on every single TV, and they're still talking about it now and how they're going to deal with it. Yeah. Just because someone did a TV show, it was entertaining enough, and the subject got risen up, and it's like, oh, hold on a minute, actually, this is this is based on real, literally people just go and can open to people's vans and steal all their stuff. Oh, I mean, you can imagine the amount of spin-off stories of, again, like the post office story, of how it affects the bigger circles, the families of these people that can't work, that haven't got to... I reckon,
Politics
doesn't work.
Even just stats wise, what is it? Every 12 minutes of
Every
Amazon.
12 minutes.
I mean, 44,500 complaints. I mean, incidents reported. What about the ones that don't even report it? I know people that haven't reported for the past 4 times
because
nothing's going to happen. Forget it.
Yeah.
So this is the thing. The number's way higher than that they've listed.
So we need Panorama investigates. We need a Netflix.
Panorama.
We need a Netflix.
Is that 19? Is that Panorama still a thing?
I think it is.
We've got to get Roger Cook on
Yeah,
board.
we need Netflix or Amazon to do a kind of kind of dramatisation of what's going on, and then it'll get pushed to the top of everyone's list.
But if Channel 4 are actively putting if Channel 4 are actively putting something together, then that's brilliant.
That'd be brilliant.
That's great.
They'll put something together.
Something to watch, something to share.
So what's
Inside
next
news.
then, Shoaib? Where are we going with it next?
As I say, we're going to give the government some time, give them about at least 6 months to sort this out, working with the police actively. We're going to get these DNA kits out. We're going to promote this to all the trades. As I said, we're not going to charge. It's not going to be a chargeable thing. Obviously, police need funding for it.
Yeah.
So we're going to try and look for companies like Screwfix and On the Tools, Screwfix, Toolstation and ITS and all these companies to get involved and start funding for the trades, give something back to the trades so that we can get some convictions done. And the police have said they're on board. They've got plans in place, a lot of plans in place. So
it's too small for them to
talk about it.
It's too small. It's too big for them to brush away now.
See, now Kent Police is onto this now as well. So they're starting the DNA kits. They want to look into these boot sales. And the boot sales that people have been complaining about, they stopped selling tools before the police even got there. Now, I don't know whether the police have already been in contact with them and said to the organisers,
what you're doing,
what you're doing,
just to let you know.
Yeah, and they've put these out. I really don't know. They don't say, and they won't.
But
tell
at the
us.
end of the day, as long as we're getting the result we want, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what route it takes, as long as it's the right.
I don't think anyone wrote a letter to Uxbridge, or maybe they did from the groups. I'm not sure about the Uxbridge one because I know it's a massive stolen tool market.
What, Uxbridge?
Uxbridge boot sale.
And that's a huge
one. Now, whether the police had a word with them or got in touch with them through there, because every time we tag the Met Police in the comments, they give us a reference number and they pass it on to the certain departments. So imagine how many complaints have come through from boot sales to the Met Police, and they've been passing them on to these team leaders in these different areas. And whether they've had a word and said, look, we've had X amount of complaints, come on, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Right. And they've put the board out because they don't want to get involved with the police.
Yeah.
Nobody
because
wants
they
to.
don't know what else. The old Bill piled into a car boot sale and they find the stolen. They don't know what else they're going to.
When you start opening Pandora's box, you've got illegal goods, you've got counterfeit
Theft.
goods, you've got stolen goods, you've got all sorts of things.
What is them getting stolen? Cars are getting stolen, shoplifting, tools, catalytic converters, anything they get their hand on.
It's not just a lamb leg and a few razor blades down the local pub anymore, is it?
There has to be punishments, and obviously something's got to be changed. So hoping, I don't know what the new government's going to be. I'm not into politics, but I hope they do take a strong stance towards it.
I think the snowball effect now is beginning. Shoaib started to roll that snowball, and it's just gathering snow, and it's just going to come crashing through. So.
But mate, at the end, it's not a one-man effort. Everyone's made effort. How much effort you've made, how much you made, how much everyone else has made. That's what counts. One person, me shouting all day long, makes no difference.
No.
Do you understand? I'm just a voice, but when everyone gets behind you, it's a roar. That's the difference.
Yeah. And that day, that is now known as that day in London.
The day. Do you remember the day in
June
London?
the 3rd. Yeah, that's been a catalyst in everything.
Can you imagine if this ever happens again, or if we had to turn up there again? It won't be this number, I'm telling you.
I think
it won't even be just
so many people
But
said,
that's
"Oh,
the
wish
thing.
I'd known
I know,
about it."
and don't you think it's incredible as well? Just from regardless of the size of it all, if you just think there's just us three blokes sat around a table here, just to think, you know what, we were there for that.
Yeah.
We were there.
It's like Live Aid. It's like Live Aid, isn't it?
Yeah. Like Sweb built it and we all came.
We've got this Trades United name called whatever you want to call it.
I was going to ask
Still got my
thing
sticker
now,
on the van. Still got my sticker on the van.
Is that have you got that copyrighted it or all that?
Yeah,
sort
the name is
you've got it,
yeah.
because
But
it's a
that is-
great platform
Trades United.
to build on.
Because
for
although
everything.
we're all plumbers and gas engineers around this table, the amount of different trades that came, sparkies,
Roofers,
chippies, roofers,
plasterers.
brickies, exactly, painters, the lot. It really was everybody because, anybody can have stuff stolen from their work vehicle and it has the same effect on anybody.
Yeah. And it's not a victimless crime. The
It's
way I
not.
see it, no. Because
Definitely not.
It affects you in every way. Families get affected.
Yeah.
Our work is hard, man. It's backbreaking. You know what it's like.
Yeah.
It's physically strenuous. It's mentally strenuous.
Mentally, you come home, you don't get time for your family. You've fucking worked so hard.
Yeah. And even
without
though
money,
you're not sleeping
Yeah.
massively because your van's out there. The slightest noise in the night, you're like.
But why are we
going
working
on?
so hard? To have a better life.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
To improve our standard of living.
Definitely.
Do things for our kids, go on holidays.
benefit.
And then at the end of the year, you're buying tools again with that money. It puts you back.
Yeah.
So, it's not good.
Not great.
Because
And
as
it's not
tradesmen,
fair
we
at
spend a
all.
lot on tools, you know.
We do.
It is.
And people think we lost a screwdriver. Why are you complaining about tool theft? Well, you take your bag in then,
You
isn't
get to
it?
buy a new hammer. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
And they think we lost a little bag with a screwdriver or some couple of hand tools. No.
This is it. And the average
Our
tool bag
tools-
without tools in it now is ranging, anywhere between 100 and 300 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the specialized stuff that we need for our jobs can't go without.
Yeah.
Thousands of
As I
pounds.
said, that all this stuff is excellent, but again, it doesn't, until there's something in place from the government to punish these people, to stop them for doing this, nothing's going to change, because I'm still going to have to go and buy the tools again the next day. I'm still lost out.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
loads of
It's
people
not
are
a
like,
solution.
we need to get onto the van manufacturers. Now, I'm all for that, but the problem with your van manufacturers is them vans aren't just vans anymore. That van is a crew cab. It's a camper. So people
everything.
so people don't want these big locks going on their camper van. I understand that. But why can't the van companies then do a package? Right, we'll do a tradesman's package. We'll put these
Well, I
locks
think
on. We'll do
Todd-
this. We'll put a
Yeah.
cage in
But
it.
how much can you do? Because
Yeah.
these van manufacturers manufacture vans for the world.
Yeah,
They're not just
exactly.
for UK
Oh, yeah, no,
market.
true.
We're the ones who got the bloody theft issue.
Yeah.
Most of the countries
It's
are
not, a
very
massive,
true.
it's not a massive worldwide thing,
not a
is
big
it?
thing.
It's UK.
It's mainly UK. We're the
Yeah.
ones who got the issue.
Yeah.
Why should they change their specs for you?
Yeah.
And even if they
Vandalism's not
did,
massive anywhere else in the world either, but it
the
is.
whole thing has to change around it.
Yeah.
It puts the cost up for other people that have
Yeah,
got
yeah.
the problem. Why would
Yeah.
you buy your vans? So they don't look at it like that.
Yeah.
That's one side. I mean, how much security can you put on?
So-
We've got
so-
deadlocks, hood locks,
Yeah.
everything.
So many
They're going
comments
for the
I
roof.
get.
Yeah,
like,
they'll just cut the roof out.
Yeah.
You put a cage inside it,
Yeah.
then they're just literally right off your van trying to get through a cage.
There's so many people comment on
Yeah.
YouTube and
When
Instagram.
I
Why,
was-
why don't you go for the van manufacturers?
Yeah.
It's a
They-
bit
it
of a
doesn't
dead
work like
end.
that.
I think.
But you've seen how aggressive they are as well. They're coming at you at crowbars.
Yeah, yeah.
What are you supposed to do with that? Obviously,
Yeah.
you're going to hand your key over. Go and take
Someone
it. I'm
said
not
to
gonna
me-
get hit
No,
by one.
exactly, because it's only tools.
not
At the end of
worth
the
it.
day, you can't
Yeah.
replace your dad. Like, you
you
can
can't-
your
yeah,
mum.
so
You
you
Someone
can't-
said
it
to
doesn't
me,
work like that.
someone said to me, there's something in London, or it's probably not specific to London, but your van's in traffic. They'll come up, undo your door, tap on your window with a machete, jump in your van,
Yeah,
pull up this road here. We're emptying the lot.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
literally.
You go in, okay. You ain't standing up for that.
No.
But it's there's no easy way out. But what we're doing, what you're doing, what the industry as a collective is doing is beginning to do something.
Yeah, I mean, cash
Yeah.
converters, if they stop buying, right, even
Yeah.
if they do buy, fine,
Cash
get
generator,
IDs.
cash. Yeah.
Get the ID of the person who sold it to you, that tool. So you must have IDs. Like, we go to scrapyards, they take our IDs now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
No,
right.
they
They'll
won't
just
even
give
let
you-
you.
back
Don't
in the
even let you
days,
sell
you
your
could
tap
get
for
cash.
cash anymore. For God's sake! I mean,
Yeah.
you're like, well,
I mean-
hold on. Where'd you get all these copper pipe trimmings?
Yeah.
I'm
Boot
a
sales.
plumber.
Boot
Yeah.
sales can do that as well. They
Yeah.
can take IDs of people who are selling there, or
Yeah.
have a system in place.
Yeah.
But again,
Boot sale,
then
no,
it's-
nothing
You
wrong
know,
with a boot sale.
they're not going after Margaret who's selling some porcelain dolls
No.
and doilies. If you've got a table with tools on, the car boots go up. Right, John, give us your
Look,
details.
there's a difference between a market and a boot sale. Market has a license to sell new stuff. Boot sale doesn't. But if you go to a boot sale, they're more like markets now. Everyone's
Yeah.
selling new stuff. We haven't got a problem with whatever they want to do with cash money, but at the end of the day, it's not regulated. That no one checks,
Yeah.
right? And that is the place where all the crime happens, because it's an open market for everyone to go and do dodgy stuff. Markets are, if I go to Northwood Market where I fly out from, but they've got no problem there.
Right.
No tools, nothing.
Really?
Everything's licensed.
Yeah.
You can sell whatever you like. They're selling tools as well, but new tools.
Yeah, yeah,
Cheap
yeah.
tools, cheap
Actual
brands.
stuff,
but,
like, yeah.
Yeah,
no one's
yeah.
bothered because they know it's not stolen, it's new.
Yeah.
Because they're controlled.
Yeah.
These people are not controlled, and they're opening up everywhere.
Just throwing it on, getting it done.
Yeah. They should, I mean, the council allowing it, because funny thing is, most of them are on council grounds. So
Yeah.
they're
course,
making
yeah,
money at the
yeah.
back of it. It's just so funny. And there are some private ones that are doing it, but then again, someone like FC Grounds was on council, Harringay Council, and they put the board up today.
Yeah, so you said about that FC Grounds was known as one of the biggest
Yeah,
car
and they've
boots.
been there for years, but it wasn't car boot, it was just dust tools.
Right,
mainly.
okay.
Yeah, 80% of it was just tools.
Wow.
It
And,
was
and
really
they've
scum
stopped
place.
it today.
Yeah, they put a board up.
Done.
By order of FC.
See, this is it. You
It's gonna
start
be a
forcing
quiet-
them out. It's
yeah,
like
you start pulling
That's
them.
the council putting
they'll
that
end up
board
with
up.
storage containers full of them. The value will be literally worthless,
Yeah.
and then they'll have so many of them that we're not buying them off the people, robbing them
So
anymore.
even if the
whether, you
thieves
know-
are not selling it and they're selling it to people who are selling it to us on the boot sale, I mean, if they can't shift their gear, what are they going to do with it? They can't. They're going to say, "Don't bring more. We can't get rid of this."
Exactly it.
And that's how it's going to stop.
You choke the outlet, then the supply has to slow down.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, they'll
And
just
that's what's
end up with too
going
much of
to
it.
happen, man. At the end of the day, we'll do our bit. At the end, I'm going to push this out so everyone can start marking it, so it can lead to a few convictions for the police, because that's what they want pushed out as much, so they can stop this.
Yeah.
Because going out to a boot sale and finding tools and they can't do anything about it with no names on it, what are they going to do with it? Take it home?
Exactly that.
Then do what with it after?
It would be such a terrible shame if somebody
And
went
they
to a
say-
car boot, bought a load of stolen tools, put DNA markers on it, and then took it back.
Right, and and boot sales have used an excuse saying the police are selling it to us through auctions.
Yeah.
It's BS. I found that out as well.
Yeah.
Don't. They don't even catch that many to put them out that many like that.
Right.
So from that end, police don't do that. So that's not a good statement, but that's the excuse they're telling the organisers.
They'll always try and find a way out,
Yeah,
won't they?
there's always going to find a but as I said, it's all closing into them now.
The net is closing. Is there anything more that you want to get?
No.
Anything you got to tick off? No.
Nothing. I think we made this episode quite long. He's yawning over there.
No, it's not. It's just having a
I just
look.
wanted to make sure that you ticked everything that you needed
Yeah.
to.
One thing,
ticked everything.
one
put
thing
out.
I
You
want
gotta
to
think-
ask, which is proper out there, which did get mentioned in one of the groups. I don't know whether you read it or not. What do you see being the practicality, more than anything, of a beta van? And do you think the police would be on board with such a thing?
You can't bait, can you?
Well, it's
can.
not bait. You
Can
can
you?
park a van. You're not baiting. There's no such thing as baiting. If you say, come and steal these tools, that's baiting.
Yeah.
But if you actively park a van with tools in that's insured, MOT'd, taxed to be on the road, then effectively
wait.
you're just parking a van with tools in. The fact someone tried to break in and you were waiting for them to do it, that's altogether different, isn't it?
No, I can't comment on that. I do know a few things, but it's okay to do it. They do it on other things as well.
Yeah.
So watch out if you're watching this. The next van
Yeah.
you might try and break into might be a trick. So just don't bother doing any of them. All right.
But no, I just think what's been going on the last month, 6 weeks, 7, 8 weeks, whatever it is, couple of months, is making a massive turning point in it.
Yeah.
And it's down to you, especially Shoaib, but everyone else involved, everyone who shared posts, took pictures, got on board, got people to take various posts, take various car boot sales down, get them to be proactive. If you've got a car boot sale near you, speak to the people that run it. Say, look, this is going on.
Yeah.
Link them to your page, our page, everyone. Just get that point out
Car
there.
boot sales, they're a community themselves, just
yeah.
like we are. They all know each other.
Yeah.
And
And
the
I'm
word
sure
gets
within their
around.
circles,
Yeah.
shit, this is coming.
And there's some
Yeah.
of them that run multiple sites. I'm talking about 10, 12 different sites. The companies are bigger those, and some of them have stopped as well. So, but as I said, up north it's not a big problem because you haven't got the market there.
No, it's true.
The market is in London, and what gets stolen all comes down there. So
All comes down there.
what comes down there? But yeah.
But no,
Anyway, I hope
but yeah,
it
no,
all stops, but-
thanks for coming on. I think,
I just want to thank every one of the trade legends on the tools, Fix Radio Installer Show. I don't want to miss anyone out.
The news, BBC, the police.
everyone has got involved,
Yeah.
all the tradespeople,
support.
everyone
Yeah.
for making it happen. And I hope
More's
something comes
coming.
out of it. Yeah,
More's coming.
It's only been 2 months and we've done so well.
Yeah.
So many amount of days.
Yeah, no, hats
Been
off to
for
you.
12 years, so
You're making things move.
yeah.
So yeah, cool. Thanks for coming on, Shoaib.
Thank you for having me again, mate.
Yeah, man.